I'm Samantha Mann. I am a poet and I am a writer. Ooh, this is a deep one. Why do I write? For me personally, it's always just kind of felt right, like something that I need to do. A lot of my personal creative writing took off throughout the beginning of COVID-19 just because it was a way that I could kind of channel my emotions, a lot of which I needed to make sense of. It also really helps as kind of decompressing stress. It's been very beneficial for my mental health just for understanding again my feelings towards things. So yeah, that's why I would say I would write. What is the last great book I read? Definitely The Song of Achilles, which is funny because it was in fact the last book that I read. It just had such a powerful love story, and I'm a huge geek for Greek mythology. I'm in love with it. I loved reading Percy Jackson as well by Rick Riordan, but The Song of Achilles, it was just so beautifully written. It was such an amazing story. So definitely a book that I would recommend to absolutely everyone to read. So something that definitely disrupts my writing process or kind of throws me off track that I've had to work through is just distractions in general. I find that my phone is definitely the biggest one. Whenever I'm trying to work on my writing process or just sit down and write, I really have to put my phone away just because I know that I'm going to be checking it every 5 minutes, which is a horrible habit of mine. So I just tuck it away. I really like to zone and focus in, which definitely just allows all my creative juices to flow. If I'm working on my computer for something like a short story, I definitely have to close all the tabs just so again I'm not tempted to go look up things or see things that I already have open. So I just start myself with a blank Word document, go on from there. When it comes to poetry though, I do like to start off writing by hand. There's just something about being able to write it out myself which I really enjoy and which personally really works for me. So yeah, that's how I've worked through anything. Have I had any formal creative writing training? I would say the most formal that I've had would be taking creative writing as a high school course. I graduated high school this past year, so it was one of my grade 12 electives. In that class, I learned a lot that definitely benefited my creative writing process and learning how to write, keep flow, etc. That's definitely the most formal. I hope to continue to take formal creative writing classes throughout university next year as future electives. I'm gonna have to think for this one. Which living poets or writers do I admire? I know that this specific author is a little bit controversial just because of things that she said in her tweets, but I do admire J.K. Rowling quite a bit. While I completely disagree with a lot of the things she has said on her Twitter account, I admire her in the sense that she is a very strong woman who has a lot of perseverance. I'm sure many people are familiar with her story in terms of being homeless and struggling with her mental health to then becoming a best-selling author. So I definitely admire how she was able to pick herself up by her bootstraps and continuing onwards, and I think that that's an important quality that I would definitely like to hold myself. In terms of authors that I look up to or admire, I definitely got into poetry by reading a lot of Ruby Carr and Amanda Lovelace and just a lot of poets that I would see through social media. They definitely gave me a lot of introduction into spoken word, which has definitely kind of shaped my understanding of poetry and things and topics that I personally would like to write about. I'm not sure if they're my favorite poets at the moment. I do have a lot of admiration for their work and I will hold dearly on to their pages, but yeah. So what I've been enjoyed most about slam, self-expression through spoken word at HHPL has definitely been the open and honest conversation, as well as the introduction to slam poetry. For me, it was very easy to connect with Nure right off the bat with the program because she's such a lovely person. She definitely has shaped my understanding once again of poetry. She's given me some amazing guidance, and she's really just introduced me to the world of slam poetry in general. I didn't have a huge understanding of it or knowledge of it prior to the program, which I can say I definitely do now. And the program's just been very welcoming and open and very kind, and it's definitely been an amazing experience. So what's next for me in my writing career would definitely be continuing to experiment with creative writing and taking more professional classes moving forward. I really hope to take creative writing, whether that be short fiction or poetry specifically, in university as writing classes. I also hope to join more writing groups as I venture off to university. I think that would be very beneficial for my writing and just having second opinions. So I'll continue to write, look out for what I come up with next, I guess.